Merry Christmas YouTube, it is your friendly neighbourhood J-Man, and I'm here, back again, day 3, 12 Days of Christmas. Today I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 2003 one with Jim Carrey. I believe the greatest comedy actor of all time. I mean, one, because he's a great actor, and two, because he's like funny anyway, probably, because if you've seen him do stand-up comedy, he's like hilarious. He's facially funny. He's a good actor in general. He can sing. He can do everything. He's the best. I mean, it's like facial acting. His body can just do things that no other actor can do, which is amazing. So yeah, this is a Dr. Seuss classic. I like Dr. Seuss books. I love the Cat in the Hat. That's like the only other one worth telling, right? I mean, I know there's like, green eggs and ham and stuff. But I mean, I don't want to see a movie of green eggs and ham, you know what I'm saying? One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. No, but I love the story. Main reason I love the story is because I was just rooting for the Grinch the whole time. That bit in the Big Bang Theory where Sheldon's like, I was totally with the Grinch right up until the end where he like accepts social convention and starts loving Christmas. I get that. I hear that. Sheldon's right. Taylor Momsen, the little girl from the movie. For those who don't know, this will blow your mind. Taylor Momsen, the cute little blonde girl from the movie. She is now in a metal band. The Pretty Reckless. That's her. I knew. Is your mind blown? My mind was blown. Yeah. I met her at Download Festival in 2014. I think she may have been on something. But yeah, one of my prouder moments in my life. I met Cindy Lou Who. I'm owning that. Next on the list is Meet Jim Carrey. Okay. I'm sorry. The town is inside a snowflake. Okay, I'm cool with that. And basically, it's always Christmas. The Grinch, obviously, is an individual who hates Christmas. I like Christmas, but I agree with the Grinch. I know then that starts when there's these kids climbing up the mountain, Mount Crumpet. Apparently the Grinch lives here. I'm not afraid of no Grinch. I'm scared of the Grinch. I'd be scared of the Grinch. He's a very crazy man. He's a what? I want an intruder alarm. I love it. He's got like a little alarm going like, intruder alert, like the Batcave or something. The Riddler has a Batcave alarm. Yeah. I want one of those when like Jehovah's Witnesses come knocking on the door. I want one of them. Girl Scouts. And you say, how can you hate Girl Scouts? No, I hate Girl Scouts. You're too cute to say no, so you have to buy the friggin' cookies. This is why I'm fat. I love that. And he scares them off, like Max, the dog, scares them off, with like this like giant robot thing. And the bark comes in through like a megaphone. It sounds like a roar and it scares them off. And he's like, the juvenile delinquents. I love that line. That's such a good line. This movie is full of really good lines. I'm going to point out all of my favourite ones. Because it's just so good. The lines in this. What we got here? Oh yeah, another then he decides to go to Whoville and talk and interact with the people. I love when he got a saw and he gives the saw to some kids. And it's like, there you go, kids, have a Christmas present. Be sure to run real fast with it. That's so horrible, but brilliant at the same time. Yeah. And I don't know who teaches Who's to drive. Who's are terrible friggin' drivers. There's no pavement. People are just walking around the road and the car's just going like... Who's? You suck drivers. Maybe it's because time moves real fast there. So no one's actually passed their test. They just give people cars. Oh yeah, I love the mayor was like the friggin' Book of Who. What is the Book of Who? It's like the Bible where everyone can just use it to like quote on how someone's like a better person than someone else. You know, I mean, so like, you know, they're using it as like, you know, who should do this, who should do that. The Grinch don't do that, so we're not gonna like the Grinch. Oh, it's so such a judgmental piece of yeah. Yeah, I love where he's like, yeah, you want to talk about the one guy from 100 kilometers from here who doesn't like Christmas? 100 kilometers? Your whole existence is 1 centimeter of snow. That's all it is existence. You can't jump from one snowflake to the other. You know, the distance between one snowflake and another is like the world twice. That's a long walk. I'll get a taxi. I love the Grinch is in the post office. You know, I love it when like Cindy. It's like the scene. This was before Spider-Man, but I love the scene where she like looks around, no one there, and he's there on the ceiling. Like that. It's like the Grinch was like Spider-Man. It was like that scene, you know, in Spider-Man where like the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, is looking around the apartment and he's not there, and then he's on the ceiling, but there's arms bleeding and then the blood drips down. It's like that. It's like the dog sneezes, he's like, bless your Gesundheit. And then she sees him. And then he like, I think she falls into the press machine that wraps papers on it. And that was basically, the arm was pressing the thing, I don't know. But that was going to crush her. Maybe to death. And I like this. The Grinch was happy to just leave her there to die. Alright, the only reason he didn't is because Max, the dog, bit him on the ash. That isn't a true toy. Another great line. Max made him come back. You know, so he comes back and he pulls her out. And he's like, you saved me. Is that what you thought I was doing? Oh no, you just weren't properly wrapped. And then he, like, you know, wraps her up in paper to make it look like it was a prank. You know, I think the Grinch would have actually let her die. I like that. I like the Grinch to be as evil as possible. Oh yeah, and then it's like, you know, little girl Cindy Lou Who's parents, and their next door neighbour, you know, fighting over who's got the biggest Christmas. I hate Christmas lights. You know, I mean, no, Christmas lights look awesome. You know, they look nice, and I love walking down the street, seeing all the other people's Christmas lights. You know, it looks beautiful. But it's just a dick measuring contest, isn't it? I mean, it's like, you know, who's got the biggest lights? Who can afford the best lights? You know, I hate Christmas lights so much. I don't put Christmas lights up. Mainly because that's work. I don't do work. You know, I don't do stuff. You know, I was like the neighbour, Sheldon's mum for The Big Bang Theory. No, not Sheldon's mum. Leonard's mum. Leonard's mum, sorry. That's like, you know, but I love that though. You know, they talk about the Grinch in The Big Bang Theory, and she's in The Big Bang Theory, and she's in the Grinch. I like that. I love when you see the Grinch going back up the mountain. They actually use the artwork, the same type of artwork from the book. You know, just to show his journey up the mountain. I really like that. It's just like, and I like the nice callbacks to the book. I've not read the book, but I really like them when they do that. When he gets to the top of the mountain, they throw the garbage out, and the garbage ends up at the top of the mountain. And he's like, one man's toxic sludge, another man's potpourri. And there's like, dog barks. I don't know what potpourri is. It's some kind of like soup or something. And that's such a good line. That makes me smile. I think the Penguin said that in Batman, didn't he? You know, did he say that in Batman as well? In the cartoon? You know, one man, the other man's potpourri. I'm not making it up. I swear he said that. I was thinking, like, Taylor Momsen, she had such a cute little voice as a kid, man. What happened? She's all metal now. I mean, I like Pretty Reckless. They're a good band, but I mean, what happened, man? She was so cute, and now she's like, actually, they're not that metal, but you know, they're pretty metal. Mm. I love that he's throwing the garbage at the mayor's face on a target and like a board. I like that. The mayor's a dick. I like the actor, but the mayor is a dick. I mean, like the heart is down, or like the heart, his size of his heart goes down a size and a half, and he's like, "This time, I'll keep it off." Dude, I love that he's like making it about a weight thing. So I was like, I am the Grinch. I think I've got the Grinch's body because I'm kind of like not fat all over. It's just like my belly, So I feel like I got the Grinch physique or Homer Simpson. I think I've got the Homer Simpson physique, but I have more hair. I have. I love it. And he just sits there eating glass, like eating a wine bottle. He's eating the glass, because because it's not right, but it's funny. And it's just, actually, yeah. Another great line. Yeah. And it's like, am I just eating because I'm bored? That's me! I eat when I'm bored. How do you think I got fat? Oh, yeah, and then it's like, Cindy Lou, after meeting the Grinch. She meet the Grinch. Yeah, I think Cindy Lou meets the Grinch, and then she kind of wants to know about him. So she, goes to the two women who, I say it's kind of like adopted him. It's like, this is the funny part. The babies are airdropped in, like the stork thing, it's like, that's how babies are made. They get dropped on the doorstep and the parents come and collect them. See, that's like cool. That's like, watering it down for children. I like that. And then you've got the guy. Hey, the baby's here. Why does he look like your boss? I was like, dude, that is an adult joke. And I was like, why you got an adult joke in there? If you're filtering it for kids, it's like, what is the target audience? It's like it's like a kids film but with some adult jokes in there, and you get that a lot though. I mean, you do. So yeah, I love that. And then it shows the Grinch when he's being bullied by the mayor when they were both in school, and he's like, "You're 8 years old and you got a beard, dude. I wouldn't make fun of an 8-year-old with a beard. He would kick my ass." The Grinch should have kicked his ass when they were young, and then he would have learned a lesson. But then he thinks he can get away with that shit. And it turns out the Grinch only hates Christmas because he was in love with the girl, the next door neighbour with the big lights, Leonard's mum, and he didn't get her on Christmas, and the whole thing is because of a girl. I thought the Grinch used to be like a person, but that's what hating Christmas that much does to you. Turn into like a furry green mess. I like that version better, but I think this one's better for a movie, I think, it's like, the thing is, I love it, say, he's remembering the mayor saying, "You're 8 years old, you got a beard," so he think, "I'm going to shave the beard off to look good for her." Dude, she liked the beard. Like 2 seconds ago, she was there stroking your beard, mate, She did the beard. I need to grow my beard back. It's slowly. It's a slow process, I mean, yeah. I'm not a fast hair grower. It's actually really soft, actually. Very soft. It's not prickly. Sometimes, again, it's like, don't be a tit, because it's like she don't want you to shave anyway. You shave, you cut your face, you look like an idiot, the whole school laughs at you. I never cut my face when I shave. I never cut my face shaving. I get cuts afterwards, I don't know how that happens. I'm always getting cuts here, and I was like, I haven't shaved in weeks, But it was like he picked up the tree and threw it in anger. Did the 8-year-old kid pick up a Christmas tree? I would not mess with a kid with a beard who can pick up a Christmas tree. It's like, like, do as the Grinch says, Don't diss the Grinch. He will kick your ass. I love it, and then it's like, it goes back to the top of the mountain, the Grinch is there, and he's got the phone book out. I want to do this now, just throwing people up. It just like goes through, I'm going to start alphabetically. Aardvark, which is funny, Andy's nickname is Aardvark, by the way. Aardvark, hate you, hate, double hate, loathe entirely. I want to know who loathe entirely was, probably the mayor. I'm just going to phone up someone. I hate you. Loathe. You're not so bad. I like you. I want to be the Grinch when I grow up. I've got his belly. That's what I'm halfway there. I need to do. I dyed my hair green. I don't know what my colour of my hair. If I looked at it, it looks like it's just dark blonde. But I was in the shop, like the supermarket, and it like under the light in the supermarket, it did look green. So I don't even know what colour my hair is. And you can hear the jubilation, which I guess is like a celebration for Who people. And they're talking. Another one of the best lines of the film. Like, Max, fetch my sedative. He just gets a hammer and knocks him out. Goodbye, painful memories. Yeah. But they're talking about the Cheermeister, which is a big celebratory Christmas festival thing. And they nominate someone to sit in a chair and eat lots of candy, I guess. And they get a prize. And Cindy Lou nominates the Grinch. And again, this comes back to the Book of Who. You know, it's like, you know, the Chairmeister is someone, you know, was it, you know, like you know, it should be the Grinch, you know, and he's like making up all this stuff, like, oh, it can't be the Grinch, you know, because who doesn't like Christmas, and it doesn't say that. You're making stuff up. I don't want to get biblical, man. It's like the Pharisees in the Bible, man. You know, like, oh, that's wrong. No, it's not. Shut up. You're being a douchebag. You know. And it's like Cindy Lou is the only person in that entire town who sees this, like, with sense, and she's like 8, you know. Christmas is like, you know. But the way it is, like, everyone's frantically running around trying to buy presents, you know, trying to get decorations, trying to get the big Christmas lights, you know. Dude, chill the hell out, man. And then there's like, he's there in his bed, and he's like, and then he wakes up, realizes what he's doing, and he's like, oh, blast this Christmas music. It's so joyful and triumphant. Come all you faithful. That's what you did there. That's cool. I like that. And Cindy Lou turns up at Mount Crumpet to try and convince him to come down to the Cheermeister. You know, and he's like trying to scare her. He's like, I am the face of pure evil. Be terrified. I'd be scared. That little girl's fearless. That's what heavy metal does to you. Then that's heavy metal does to you. And he's like, kids. I love it. He looks right at the camera. He's like, kids today, so desensitized by movies and television. There's truth in that. I want to see Deadpool and the Grinch. That's the movie I want. Marvel. Buy that. You own Benedict Cumberbatch. You know, that's what I'm giving you gold here, Marvel. He's like, I love your non-conformist streak. It reminds me of a younger, less hairy version of me. The best lines in the film. Love that. He's like, this could change my life. So will you go? No. And then he's like, throws her out. And he's like, I couldn't go possibly. It would interfere with my schedule. 4 o'clock, wallowing self-pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger. Tell no one. 5:30, jazzercise. 6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with self-loathing. This is so much like, you know, everyone's had anxiety or everyone's had depression, man. I'm just thinking, Ian, because he's bored, talking about keeping his size down. Now he's talking about, wallowing in self-pity, I get this dude, man. He's a deep dude, man. This is emo kid, right? And he's like, if I push self-loathing to 9, I guess I could be in there and come back in time for bed and stare at the ceiling and slip slowly into madness. But what would I wear? The script is so good for this movie, man. And people a lot of people want to diss this film. I don't want to diss this film. The script is perfect for this movie. Again, I think they need to decide what the target audience is, but then I reckon they should have gone for the slightly older one. Gone for the 12 margin. 12's a good margin. You could have got away with a lot more. I love when this is the Grinch's character so perfectly, though. Where he's looking for stuff to wear and he gets the tablecloth. He yanks off the table and everything stays upright on the table, like the magic trick. You put it off and the flowers are still standing, And I love where he does that. But then, because he's such an angry person inside, he wrecks the table anyway, which is, I think that's just such good directing, man. That's like, that's the Grinch, who the Grinch is as a person, man. You know. It's like, it's not a dress, it's a kilt, you sicko. Why is he a sicko? Is it sick to imply you might be cross-dressing? Whatever, man. Whatever, man. I know loads of people who wear women's clothes. I mean, to be fair, they're women, but I mean, whatever, man. If I can't find nothing nice to wear, I'm not going. And then he hears someone yodeling, and then he gets the guy and steals his lederhosen. Don't know what went through his head, and he's like, I need to go to this wearing lederhosen. You know, I look like a German kid as much as it is. I'm wearing lederhosen, you know, I look like Augustus Gloop. You know. The mayor is being a general dick again, per usual, Dick Mayor. I love when he's like fired out of the tube things, and then he like bounces off something, and then he like goes right into like Martha May's chest, you know. There's worse places you could be, you know. Again, that's a joke for the adults. I mean, it's not a dirty joke, but you know, it's like, you know, adults pick up on that. And when he's like, the mayor's thinking, if we're going to make him do his chair march, let's embarrass the heck out of him. So let's bring out the old biddies, you know, like his parents, the two old women. You know, and I love this line, he's like, are you still living? Which every time I see a celebrity I haven't seen in years, I'm always looking at TV like, is he still living? And I feel like that's something I've picked up, and I say that regularly now because of the Grinch, man. So yeah, you know, he's just like, you know, trying to embarrass them. The Grinch is actually getting into all of these like Christmas like traditions. So he's doing a sack race, but he's doing the sack race, he's like pushing all the kids out of the way, and he's like, no child can beat me. I mean, I don't want to fight no one, but if I fought with anyone, I'll fight a kid. You know, there's a chance I might win, and then I'll pretend I'm Mike Tyson or something. One hit KO. Yeah. And then this is the biggest dick move of the movie. The mayor gives the Grinch a present of a razor. That's evil, man. I remember the Grinch is clearly suffering from depression. You know, he suffers with his self-image. And then you do something, like trigger something that would remind him of the worst day of his life. You know, and that day of his life so bad, that is the reason for his depression. That is the reason for his, personal issues to do with himself. I was like, that is a really evil thing to do from that mayor, you know, man. That's really a douchebag move. Oh, that then. And then he decides to, like, the mayor decides to propose to, like, you know, who's it, you know, the girl who the Grinch likes and he likes. She doesn't actually give an answer. She doesn't say yes or no. But he's only doing it to make the Grinch jealous, man, which is like the biggest dick move of the whole thing, really, man. You know, treat women well. That's the moral of the story. Actually, no, there's a bigger moral than that, but treat women well anyway. It's a good moral. And wait, like they're talking about presents, and he's like, "That's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, you people, it's just presents. You know, you give each other presents, and then they all end up at the dump on my mountain." You know, and it's true. Everyone's so frantic about getting all good presents, you know, or not even good presents, getting presents in general, man. And some of these presents attack, you know, like someone sends you something you know you don't want. You don't put any thought into a lot of people's presents because you only buy people presents because it's expected of us, you know. And that's his point, man. It's not about giving something to someone as a nice gesture. It's doing it because we're expected to. We're expected to spend money we don't have, buying everybody we know some present, even though we don't know what people want. They've got everything they need, you know. You know, it's just, you know, it's doing because I hate doing what's expected of me, but I still buy people Christmas presents because, you know, then otherwise I'm a douchebag, right? Even though I'm sat here bitching about it, so I'm still a douchebag. But I love it. He's like, I think all Christmas traditions are ridiculous, but there's one I quite like, and he grabs the mistletoe, and he's like, mistletoe, and then he just puts it in his butt. Pucker up, Whoville, kiss it. You know, again, one for the adults, but such a good line. And then he gets that razor and shaves, like, through the top of the mayor's head. That's what I'll do. I would have kicked him in the nuts, probably, but that's good too, I like that. And he's like, you look fabulous. Love that. And then he burned the tree down. Burn it down. Metal. Burning the tree down, that was pretty metal, man. I respect that. I love it. He's like, taxi, and drives past. It's because I'm green, isn't it? Such a good line, man. I love that. And then he gets the tiny car with these hooves that are like that big, man. I don't even understand why. And he's on this tiny little car, you know. I know. And I love the way that he flips the car. Leaks oil. And like, it's gonna blow. And this tiny little car makes a pretty huge explosion, actually. You know. I love that he runs in slow-mo and the explosion goes up behind him. I love that. You know. I love when he ruins everything. And there's a spare tree. Of course there's a spare tree. And he's like, they're relentless, man. But that's the point, man. Christmas spirit can't be killed by, physical things, We've always got Christmas spirit. It's the spirit of being nice to people. And if anything killed Christmas spirit, the world would not be a good place to live in. But it's not about how many presents you buy. It's not about how many decorations are up. Not about how many lights are on the outside of your house, Yeah. I think this is where he finally gets the idea. I'm going to steal Christmas. I'm going to steal everyone's presents. I love it's like they played the original theme song, which is really cool. Actually, they do it sung by Jim Carrey, and that's like awesome because it's like original. It's to do with the book, I guess. And Jim Carrey's doing. Jim Carrey can sing. He can sing, which is what makes it all the more better. I love line like you're a heel. Was that a wrestling reference? Do people commonly use the term heel? I thought that was like a wrestling thing. He's like the $1 million man. He's like Rowdy Roddy Piper. I like that. I love that he makes the sleigh and the number plate on the sleigh says mean one. I like that. I love he's like looks out the window and he sees Santa. So he'll say like, fat boy, I should be finishing soon. I'm not even offended. That's funny, man. I love when he's like, if I don't have a reindeer of my own, I'll make one. And I love when he looks at Max, puts like an antler on his head and a red nose, and he puts a hat on like Spielberg or something. You're like, okay, you're a reindeer, and you're like, act like a reindeer, think like a reindeer. And he's like, but you hate Christmas, and the dog just knocks the red nose off. He's like, brilliant. He's like, you cut off your own nose because it represents Christmas. I love that scene, man. It's so well done, man. I love when he's on the sleigh and the sleigh's like rickety. He's like, we're gonna die! We're gonna die! I'm gonna throw up and then I'm going to die! Everything about this movie cracks me up, man. I almost lost my cool there. I love it, man. It's a dog. The dog don't give a damn. I love when he's coming down the chimney and it's being narrated, and he's like says like a little more stealth, please, and then the narrator starts whispering. I love that so much. It's like I love the fourth wall breaks, man. Before it was cool, before Deadpool made it cool. Yeah, I noticed that the icebox. He goes to the icebox. Steals the Christmas beast, the turkey thing. Steals the can of hoo hash and then stuffs the tree up the chimney. All that was from, I don't know if it's from the book, but I mean it's all from the original cartoon. I love that. So I love the fact they got the original stuff and put it in the film. I really do like that. Obviously, but he's behind the tree and Cindy Lou catches him and he pretends he's Santa. And she's like, Santa, what's Christmas really about? Vengeance! I mean presents. And she's like, yeah, that's what I thought, it's nothing nice, it's just presents, she's like, don't forget about that's the sweetest bit in the whole film. She's like, don't forget about the Grinch, even after he'd done all this horrible shit, man. That's beautiful, man. And he was like, what a nice kid. Bad judge of character. I love the next bit where he does the Catwoman thing, where like she uses her claws and she cuts a circle in the mirror. The window, sorry, so she can reach in and steal something. And he's like doing that, he's like that. And then he's like, mouth that. And like sucking the glass. Again, who thought of that is a genius. I love that so much, man. And he goes to the mayor's house, and the mayor's dreaming about Martha May. I think the name Martha May. And she's like, "Have you ever kissed and he's like, "I've always wanted," and he grabs the dog and puts the dog's butt in his face and he kisses the dog's butt. I feel bad for that dog. But it made me laugh. Wait, the kid was dreaming about apples. And he stole the apples from the kid's dream. There is nothing the Grinch did not steal. I love that, man. There's so much in that. And anyway, he gets all the presents, and the sleigh is out of fuel and it's too heavy to get up the mountain. And then he's like, "What are you laughing at, Max?" Like, he looks at Max and he's like, "What are you laughing at, Rudolph?" And then he has the dog pull in the sleigh, which is clearly like way too big and heavy for the dog, but I love it. It's still working though, even though the Grinch is like super strong, right? Yeah. And then he's like, "I've done it. I've stolen Christmas. Everybody down there is going to be miserable from here on out." And then he looks out and he hears them singing. Because again, it's not about presents, Like Cindy Lou's dad says, Christmas is about spending time with my family, and I've got my family, so I'm happy. I don't care about possessions. And he's like, surely that all that can mean is that Christmas might mean something more. And that's when his heart starts growing. He's like, "I'm feeling." That's a tear was in my eye in this movie. I was like, "I'm feeling too." Damn it, man. I miss hating the world. I was say, the Grinch saved Christmas before he even turned good. Him stealing those presents was a stroke of genius. I know he wasn't doing it for nice reasons, but he did that to make people realise what they had is more important than what you can buy in a shop, That's beautiful, man. Dr. Seuss is a genius in that sense, man. And he was like, "I'm feeling, and I'm leaking." I leaked a bit. I love that. Such a good line. It's like, you don't understand tears. And it's like, why is my body leaking? No, and he burst into tears, man. I think that was such a beautiful. I know it's comedy, it's over the top, but it was such a beautiful bit where he just, realizes all he's done and he cries about it. And I love that. I think that's so beautiful, man. I'm getting so sentimental over this movie, no, but I love this movie so much. Yeah. And I love when he looks up and he sees at the top the sleigh is rocking on the mountaintop, and he's like, "The toys will be destroyed." So he runs up there, tries to put it, but it's too heavy and it's sliding off. And he's like, "Oh well, I suppose it's only toys in there." And they look up and Cindy Lou is on top of the thing, and he has to save her. And he's like, "What are you up here for?" And she's like, "No one should be alone on Christmas." And then he's like, "That is the most beautiful thing ever, man. That really is. That is beautiful. I like that." He sledges down back to the city with the presents. Other it's like, "Spread eagle, nailed it." Like, again, one of the great lines of this movie. And he's like, "The powder's bitchin'." Probably the rudest line in the movie. Well, bitchin', but I mean, it's like, is that a swear word? I don't know. No one cares if it is, but I mean, is it a kids movie? Is it not a kids movie? And I love when he's like, the policeman comes and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I stole Christmas and I'm sorry." And there's like, "Okay, you said you're sorry, you're off." And I wish I could just do shit, man. And then say, "I'm so sorry, officer." "Oh, you're sorry, you're off the hook." I want to live in Whoville just so I can commit crimes. I mean, so if I lived in Whoville, I'll be the new Grinch. Seeing as the Grinch is now a good guy, I'll be the new bad guy. I'll be the new Grinch. I like that. And then it's like, and then, what her name now? Martha May gives the ring back to the mayor. She's like, "My heart belongs to someone else," and it's like the Grinch, and the Grinch does a little happy dance. I love he does a happy dance, I think a woman needs to know that, like, a woman says she likes a guy and the guy does a happy dance. That must do something for your self-esteem, right? It's beautiful, man. And then they'll have a nice little sing-song. I love that the Grinch doesn't know the words to the song, so he's just like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like he's trying, it's nice. And I love that they all have Christmas dinner at the Grinch's hideout. That's beautiful. I know the best one. It goes out with one of the best lines in the film. Who wants the gizzard? I do. Too late. That'll be mine. And again, that's one of the things I say. Whenever I do something like that, I see something in the shop, I'm like, that'll be mine. It's like I steal stuff, and it's like that's stuff I use on a regular basis. This movie, this movie really does mean something to me, man. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. I think the Grinch is a character. Is it bad that the Grinch is a character I really do associate so much with? Yeah, and that was the end of the movie. And I love it. I was watching the ending credits, and I was like, holy crap. That was narrated by Anthony Hopkins? He's like a good actor. He's like the modern day Laurence Olivier or some shit, man. Yeah, man. Anyway, bringing me up to my final part of the video, which is the trivia section, which is great. I can just use about 50 minutes of other people's stuff. This is just me reading stuff on my phone, and it pads up my video and makes the video way more interesting, even though it's nothing to do with me. Let me see. Apparently the prosthetic makeup worn by Jim Carrey was rumoured to have it made him felt so confined and uncomfortable in the latex skin that he sought counselling from a CIA agent who taught him torture-resistant techniques. Dude! That is dedication. If you feel like you're being tortured by that suit, man, I would have been out of that movie, man. Fair play to him, though, man. Jim Carrey spent 92 days in Grinch makeup, spending 3 hours in the morning getting in and out, and 1 hour in the evening getting out of it. According to Carrey, he became Zen master while sitting in that makeup chair. I bet you would just space out, There's like that scene Ace Ventura, where he's just there, like meditating, and the butterflies were hanging around his head. He was like, it's like that. The line 6:30 dinner with me, I can't cancel again, was improvised by Jim Carrey. I love improvised lines. I think I saw it apparently changing the script is illegal. Dude, if you're like Jim Carrey, I'd let him just do what he wanted with it. Nothing anybody could ever write would be as funny as what Jim Carrey can just come up with off the top of his head, man. Ron Howard was so thankful for Jim Carrey putting up with the uncomfortable hours to apply the makeup during the filming. He himself put on the Grinch suit while full makeup and directed one day with the suit on. He intended to be a show of appreciation. When Carrey saw him in the Grinch out, he was angered, believing him as a stunt double who looked nothing like him. That's pretty funny, actually, man. Misunderstandings. The scene where the Grinch is directing the dog Max before Sitting Christmas is making fun of director Ron Howard, imitating his style of directing. Howard found the scene hilarious and decided to include it in the film. Again, the things that aren't in the script are the most beautiful moments. I mean, Andy put a joke in my thing where it wasn't in the script, and I thought it was the funniest thing about the whole thing, and it took us so many takes to actually get it right because I just laughed every time. I think that's the things that make it funnier is the stuff that you just do off the bat. Whoville set was built mostly out of on a back lot of Universal Studios behind the Bates Motel. During a break in filming, Carrey surprised and scared tourists on the Universal backlot tour by running out of the hotel wearing a dress and that's so funny, man, brandishing a knife like in Psycho. Nobody recognised him, and the tour guide at Universal Studios will tell you the story as you pass by the hotel in the back. That's really cool. I'm going to go on the tour now just so you can see what happened there. No movie other than this has featured so many characters in heavy makeup and costumes since The Wizard of Oz in 1939. I say every single person in that film has got a snout on, you know. So yeah, that's cool. Final scene: Cindy Lou passes Max a plate of green eggs and ham. Oh, I didn't notice that. That's such a really nice little reference. Jim Carrey's Grinch suit is covered in yak hair, which was dyed green and sewn onto a spandex suit. That's horrible, but probably realistic. Jim Carrey, with no accompaniment or anything to alter his voice, sang a few verses, the signature song of "You and Me, Woman, Scream." Yeah, he did sing that one. No accompaniment or anything, yeah. The photo of the Grinch in the Hoover paper is in the same pose as the Bigfoot or Sasquatch. I did notice that it was the Sasquatch picture, but obviously with the Grinch. Another Christmas movie, Elf, would seemingly feature its main character, Buddy the Elf, walking in Central Park, mimicking the Bigfoot. I love that, man. I watched Elf yesterday, actually, so that's really cool that the two films are linked slightly. The original Grinch was not green like everybody else in the book. He was black and white with some red and pink splotches, but Ron Howard wanted the film to be an adaptation of the Chuck Jones cartoon. Why would you change the colour of the Grinch? You know? Actors and actresses who went to school with a choreographer learned how to move and be comfortable being a Who. They moved different. I didn't really notice too much. They went to Who school, sorry. Oh, they actually had a Who school. Audrey Gassell came off set of Man the Moon. Man the Moon came out just before this did, actually, to see if Jim Carrey was right to play the Grinch. He was so deep into character of Andy Kaufman. However, he had to essentially be an impression of himself doing the impression of the Grinch, and that was what got him the gig. Yeah, that must be weird because Jim Carrey, he proper does go deep into his character, so it's probably really weird when you film one film right after the other. You know, so it's you got to get out of that, because you spend months basically being that character. Like Heath Ledger, he spent months being the Joker. I mean, he didn't kill no one, obviously, but you know, he would didn't he go to a hotel room and just basically think like the Joker would for like weeks, I think. Sus Cousins, a Los Angeles-based sweater designer whose first name is pronounced like Dr. Seuss's. Oh, it's Seuss Cousins, sorry. Along with other knitters, produced 250 pieces of original knitwear for this movie, including 8 identical red swipe sets for Jim Carrey. In 4 months. This works about 83.3 sweaters per person in just 120 days, which is quite an amazing, as they were all hand knitted. That is impressive. Jim Carrey accepted the role while he had heard a tape of a kids' choir sing the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." That's nice. When the Grinch pulls the sheet off the table and the silverware is all silver was scripted to fall off. Oh, and Jim Carrey pulled the sheet off so well that nothing came off, and then he went back to it himself. Again, I thought that was such a good view of the Grinch's personality, that scene, though. And apparently it wasn't even in the script. Which I think is testament to how stuff that isn't scripted makes the film so much better. You know, Anthony Hopkins recorded all the narration in 1 day. He's Hopkins. He don't need more than one take. He's Hopkins. Top selling movie ticket of 2000, 50 million sold. Jim Carrey's yellow contact lens was so uncomfortable that he wasn't able to wear them at times during filming. Some shots of his eyes were coloured in post-production. They do look pretty. They're quite thick by the looks of it, because it's like the whole eye was yellow, not just like the pupil. After the Grinch leaves Whoville for the second time, the camera pans up to a statue of an elephant, who can be seen as a reference to Horton Hears a Who. Jim Carrey would later go on to voice Horton in the... I didn't know that was Jim Carrey. I've not actually seen the film. Horton Hears a Who. As filming this movie had the largest set at Universal. As of filming, this movie had the largest set. I don't know if they needed a big set, really, because it's like a small scale film, even though the budget was probably fairly high. The original adaptation of The Grinch's main dislike of Christmas is due to loud noises and extreme gluttony. However, for the movie, an intensive backstory was created to explain why the Grinch dislikes Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't know, I mean, I think that was a new thing, but I like what they did with it. I'm not going to diss it. Everything in the film revolves around a swirl like the original drawing in the book. This includes the clouds, several scenes. The initials HC and JC and RH briefly form as the clouds moves that stand for Clint Howard, Jim Carrey, and Ron Howard. Oh, that's nice, that is. Many Cirque du Soleil formers were used for the more acrobatic tricks and stunts in the movie. They can be spotted in the beginning and some of the Who's in the parade. Probably 8,000 props were made for this film. Over 3 number of performance. This is a long one. I don't even know if it's a good one. Yeah, they used a lot of these. They made a lot of props. I mean, 40,000 computer generated trees in the opening sequence. That's some work for some guy on a computer, man. Jim Carrey admitted feeling ashamed for not trying to prevent some of the adult humour in this film, and he has repeatedly said that all of the jokes he ad-libbed were age appropriate. He then found out that Ron Howard had removed many of the other jokes that were even raunchier, but had some of it had to keep some of it due to that they wanted to. They both claim it was studio interference. I think it's fine if they wanted to do it dirty film. They just kind of needed to make sure that was what the target audience was. If they wanted this to be a kids' film, then I get that. Grinch is the only character who breaks the fourth wall in this film. He actively tries to avoid speaking in rhyme, even interacts with the narrator. Yeah. Jeremy Howard, who played Drew Loohoo, shaved off his eyebrows for the duration of production to help cut makeup time in half. That's a good idea, that is. Author Dr. Seuss, and after his death, his widow had been approached previously to authorize a live-action version story, but Seuss was unhappy with the previous live-action effort, The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T, and turned down any such proposals. But then, after the success of How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the growth there, she then saw the potential in live-action impression. I think, though, she said now she doesn't want any more. I think after The Cat in the Hat, I don't know why. This is the most successful movie of Jim Carrey's career. Well, he's a very successful man, to be fair, but I mean, it's like the only one you can't even see his face in this movie. The inscription of the coins in the store is E Pluribus Wohum. Is that a Christmas thing? I'm not sure. Approximately 600 visual effects were used in the film, totaling 43 minutes of screen time. Director trademark Ron Howard gave a role to his brother Clint Howard as Hubris, the mayor's assistant. Oh yeah, and one to his father, Rance Howard, as the elderly timekeeper. That's nice, man. I love the fact he did that. Cinematographer David Peterman's final film before his death in 2011, he was unable to shoot anymore due to the injuries sustained in an accident on the set of Mighty Joe Young. He found it difficult working on this film due to the after effects of his injuries. Well, that's pretty sad, actually, man. Eddie Murphy and Jack Nicholson were considered to play the Grinch. I'm so glad they went with Jim Carrey, though. For a while, Tim Burton was considered to direct, but could not due to conflict with another movie. I can see it, but I think that would have been better as an more adult film if Tim Burton had done it. I mean, I can see it, and I reckon it would have been good. But I mean, I think, yeah. Costume designer Rita Ryak had a bit of fun in designing different Whos it was Chanel Who and Prada Who. That's pretty funny. When the Grinch drove the little car when he was destroying Christmas, Jim Carrey said it was really hard to drive and it took him forever to get the feel of the car. Yeah, I was watching the bloopers earlier, actually. He just kept falling off that little car. During shooting, more than 1,000 man hours were used to apply the intensive makeup to the actors and actresses. Yeah, man, I bet. You hear about these in films, and the makeup takes so long when they've got like stuff on their face, you know. Before his death in 1901, Dr. Seuss had refused offers to sell the film rights to his books. His widow, Audrey Geisel, announced that she would auction the film rights off How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 1998. Max was originally going to be a CGI dog. Well, they've done that now. The highest grossing Christmas movie since Home Alone. Final film with Josh Ryan Evans. Oh, apparently when he's sucking up all the presents in the Lou's house and he sucks the goldfish bowl, it's a reference to the goldfish in The Cat in the Hat. Max, the male dog, is played by Kelly, a female dog. I'm so sorry, Kelly. You're a very convincing man. The casting of Sir Anthony Hopkins as narrator mirrors the casting of the horror genre great Boris Karloff in the original animated movie. In that so it's like Frankenstein was the original director, so they got Hannibal Lecter to do that, and that's really cool, actually. Jeffrey Tambor, the mayor of Whoville, appears in the Brian Grazer production Arrested Development. Yeah, he does, narrated by Ron Howard, the director. That's pretty cool. Ron Howard, the director, is one that startled the Who's. One of the startled Who's was the Grinch's rants in City Square. Mount Crumpit is 3,000 feet high. That sounds like a lot of effort. Apparently the sad backstory makes Grinch more sympathetic character than the original films. No, I like that we felt sorry for him. I kind of like the idea of just being mean for the sake of being mean at the same time. The only real victim was the fluffy cat that got sucked up in the vacuum cleaner. Yeah. How Cindy Lou is discussing how aunts got the Grinch. Clarnella says it was during one of the parties. She can see through the window. There is a lot of adult activity going on in the house, and they're putting keys in a glass jar. Which I thought about that because I saw that in that 70s show. They're at a swingers party and they all put the keys in the jar. And I think that you pick a random key and that whoever owns that key is who you go home with, I think is the idea. I thought of that when I was watching, actually. I bypassed that because I was like, is that a bit too risky for a kids movie? But apparently not. Despite the fact that their careers were in the same class as kids. Jim Carrey is considerably younger than the actors playing former classmates. Yeah, Christine Baranski is 10 years older, and Jeffrey Tambor is 18 years older. Many of the Grinch's lines were ad-libbed by Jim Carrey because he's the best. Yeah, Taylor Momsen, Cindy Lou Who, became one of the lead rock singers and songwriters of the 2010s, fronting the band The Pretty Reckless. The movie was originally going to be shot green screen stage with CGI added post-production. But yeah, they do use sets and stuff. I mean, I think it would be fine with a green screen though, because the sets are really out there and over the top. So I mean, it just goes to the stuff we can build, and we don't rely on CGI though. Despite living with the Grinch, Max has a lot of Christmas spirit. Yeah, the Grinch can be shown dancing to Christmas music. Logo gimmick: the snow is falling on the ground in the Imagine Entertainment logo. Apparently, because Jim Carrey spent so much time in the makeup dressing room, he had any parcels and packages delivered to his dressing room, not his house. I get that. Oh, when he's trying to drown out the sound of the singing, he puts his head between the monkey playing the cymbals and says "owie." He says the same thing in the same tone when he says in "Liar Liar," when he bangs his head against the bathroom wall, standing in urinal. Yeah, that's really cool. That is. Oops, sorry. When the Grinch is hating the Who's alphabetically, there is a telescope in the background with a fake green leg. The log has lace on it, similar to the leg lamp in A Christmas Story. Tim Burton's adaptation would have been a lot darker. Yep, that's Burton, alright. And the Grinch would have been a much more despicable character. I want the Burton version. I love this movie, and I would never replace this movie, but I want the Burton one as well. The words Grinch and Christmas are spoken by every character in the movie except by Max. Fair play. Fair play. Mount Crumpet and Whoville are based on two real-life locations just north of Dotsy's hometown, Springfield, Massachusetts. Mount Crumpet is based on Mount Tom, a 1,200-foot peak that overlooks the town of East Hampton, just like the Grinch's mountain overlooks Whoville. The song played in the end credits, "Where Are You Christmas," was written by Mariah Carey and performed by Faith Hill. Mariah Carey writes stuff. No animals were harmed in this movie. It was all simulated harming of animals, so no one was hurt. Max understands to understand English by being able to obey specific commands, like the size of the wrench to give him. Yeah, but actually gives him the wrong size, so maybe he doesn't. This was Jim Carrey and Brian Grazer's second film project together after Liar Liar. Grinch's dog Max has the same name as Jim Carrey's son in Liar Liar, another movie by Universal and Imagine. The Grinch becomes mean by being alone in an orphanage in youth. Similar incident occurs in Charles Dickens' famous tale of Christmas Carol, as Scrooge was left alone during the holidays as a boy. In fact, the Grinch is more or less the Dr. Seuss counterpart of Scrooge. Both hate Christmas, both repent, and are both generous and kind. Like Cindy Lou is based on Tiny Tim. I can see that. Yeah. Grinch has sharp fingernails that can dent cars and cut through thick glass. Yeah, we saw that. The longer theatrical trailer was narrated by Percy Rodriguez. The map of Mount Crumpit was taken directly out of the book. The song played during the sack race was used in Bruce Almighty when does the report on the cookies, and he says cue cheesy music. Jim Carrey and Anthony Hopkins were both involved in comic books. Carrey played the Riddler in Batman Forever, while Anthony Hopkins played Odin in Thor Ragnarok, The Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, and Dr. Edward Bailey in Red 2. The Grinch has two similarities with Jim Carrey's character Stanley Ipkiss from The Mask. The Grinch has masks are green in appearance, although the mask is only green in the face. The Grinch and Stanley have dogs named Max and Milo, respectively. Again, you're just grasping at stuff there. I mean, I see it, but you're grasping at stuff there. Some of these are the same. Yep, Jim Carrey played Scrooge as well, didn't he? The Grinch is falling down the tube to attend the Christmas party. He shouts out, "Maybe I should have flipped a coin." Jim Carrey played the Riddler opposite Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face in Batman Forever. Two-Face's signature was to flip a coin before deciding things. So was that a reference to Batman Forever? Yes, that's basically all of those. So yeah, I managed to get this one to an hour. Again, half of it wasn't even my own content, but somehow I pull it off nicely. Yes, I'm very proud of myself. So yeah, that's all from me from now till tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is the best film on the list. Tomorrow, I shall be watching Catherine Tate's Nan's Christmas Carol. So Christmas Carol, but with Catherine Tate's sweary Nan. It's like Mrs. Brown's Boys, but better. No. I thought, again, I wanted to throw another English movie in this one like I did last time, because, you know, I like American movies better than English movies, but I don't want to, like, say all English movies suck, because this is such a good movie, so I'm going to throw this one in there. England v America, you know. So, yeah. I'll see you guys then. And J-Man out.